Hey everyone, Larry Bailey here, Mortgage Workflow Partners. It is November 28th, for goodness sake. We're back here as a community. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Every Tuesday at 4 p.m. Eastern and every Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern. Unless it's Thanksgiving, then of course we're not going to meet. So today's topic that we're going to be talking about are the best practices of disclosure tracking settings. We've got community conversations. Amy, I don't know if you want to come up on stage and talk about your condition printing thing you got going on. Let me know about that, and I'll throw you up on stage if you want. But the whole point of these is to get together as a community at least once a week. If you can make both, that's twice a week. That's great. All right, I'll invite you up as a speaker. We can see what's going on in Amy's basement. And where'd you go, Amy? Where are you in here? And I think there's even a party out, and wasn't there a party or something Friday? I don't know if you as a speaker, you can tell us all about it. Pardon me. So a lot of things have been happening around the topic of disclosure tracking. Amy's cleaning quickly. Oh, that's tomorrow, Brian. Thank you very much. I can't keep up. You guys party a lot out in Nebraska. I just can't keep up. It's Wednesday. That's tomorrow. Good deal. So disclosure tracking is one of those things that is totally annoying, right? Wonderful Dodd-Frank came out with TRID, and we had to talk about this, how we're going to track the loan estimates and the closing disclosures, et cetera. But before we get into that, we've got a community conversation going on, or at least between Amy and myself, with regards to printing the conditional approval, I guess is what you're doing, Amy, right?
Yes.
So printing the conditional approval. And for those, let me share a screen. For those that are not indoctrinated in the art of the carriage return in the standard condition. By the way, this problem doesn't exist in enhanced conditions, Amy, just saying.
You chastising me.
So if you type out your thing in your settings and you hit a carriage return, what that does is it drops a bullet. So if you're doing underwriting approvals, et cetera, and you want to have a nice bulleted list, what you can do is at the end of your description, put a carriage return, and historically speaking, that will give you the carriage return in Word and drop a bullet in there, and it'll look nice. And up until today, Amy, that's been working.
So yeah, somebody was putting conditions in yesterday, and she goes, "Where's my space?" I'm like, "I don't know." And so I went and looked, and it's not there. So, I mean, we've done this for years like that, and put that return in there, and it's just not working all of a sudden.
First, anybody else have any comments, questions, suggestions on that? Second, no other changes over the weekend, Amy, as far as what you guys implemented, changed?
Not that we did.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't think that would be affected by anything.
Is the return still there?
Department.
Like if you go in your condition, is the cursor still blinking underneath it?
No.
So
when I go back into it, it's just there's no return there at all. But when I save it, it looks like there's a return.
So if you go in and if you go into the condition, like the one I just created, and you drop your cursor down here below it, will it blink below it or will it blink next to it?
I don't know. Let me go look. Hang on. Right. I gotta.
Candace, you always use Control Enter for that?
I tried that too.
Yeah, that's certainly a trick. I've never used Control. I've always just used the Enter key.
I tried Control Enter, Alt. I tried it all, trying to think if I could get it to work, and it wouldn't.
Did you try Control Alt Delete Enter?
No.
Okay, don't do that. That's a bad idea. Yeah. So I don't know, to answer your question. I haven't heard anybody else have this problem. I have not had a chance to test. And Candace, you obviously are using this. Your team is not reporting any errors or issues or printing or anything like that. Is that correct?
And we just haven't added conditions in a long time. So I don't know how long it's been going on. And we just, once you get your standard ones, you don't tend to put too many more in.
Oh, so is it working for your standard conditions? But this is just only a new.
Yep, all my old ones that work just fine.
Oh. Did you happen to update Word over the weekend from Microsoft?
Who knows? They could have. Yes.
I would check. I would start there. So if you go back into an old file, if you go into a file that didn't have any problems, it prints perfectly fine.
Yeah. If I go in
But
the old conditions and I do, but when I go and I add the new conditions, there's no space after any of those, but there is after the other ones. That's a good idea, Brian. I can try copy and pasting from an existing one, see if that would work, and then just maybe change the wording.
and I want to
I'll play with
make
it a
sure
little bit.
I understand too, Amy. So when you go in, you're adding from your condition. You're adding from your condition in the drop down. What happens if you just type and hit a carriage return? Is it
I'm not adding in the drop down. I guess I'm adding it from in settings and e-folder setup under conditions that way.
Okay.
So not
Yeah.
there.
So if you go into settings, we're talking about you're adding them in here.
Yep.
Yeah. So if I were to come in and I were to do a carriage return there and save, and I go back into that, it's never going to have the carriage return there.
My old ones do. When I go in there and look, I can, if you hit your down arrow, like on those old ones, I can actually see that there's a space.
Gotcha.
But I can't on the new ones.
All right, let's see.
Candace, I tried that control enter and that did nothing for me.
Let's try it. Let's see if it saves. Did not seem to stick here. So I don't know, Candace. That's a good one, Amy. Maybe you're ahead of the curve. So you're talking about in the settings here. What I've always found, I'm not really sure if it always stuck, but yes, that was what we always did when we created a condition in here and we hit the control enter or just the enter and hit save, and then brought that into a file and it did give the bulleted list. And when you go to print now, when you add those conditions in, Amy, if you go in and print, the bullet list fails. Jody, you're hysterical. Jody's like, have you tried Alt plus 013? Or I guess you're being serious.
Is that legit, Jody, or are you just are you messing with me now?
Alt 013. A heart? Oh, wait, 013 is the enter key. I like the heart. Can we do that after every condition?
That's so cute. Yes. I think I should just put one of those, and then everybody will know that's the end of your condition.
Alt 013. Just do hearts everywhere. I don't know why it did a heart there, but it doesn't do a heart anymore. Yeah, I don't. Is down here it did a thing. There it did a heart. I wonder why. I have no idea. Anyway, no plaid pad plus it's a carriage. Yeah, I would keep fooling around with it. I don't know. Everybody else seems to be okay. Amy, apparently it's just you, which is not unusual.
I guess. I don't. Yeah, it's not unusual that it's just me. So I don't know.
Welcome to the world of Encompass, where you get your own personalized experience in troubleshooting when you have no time for it. Kevin.
Oh, so see, it's Kevin too. It's not just me.
Well, of course, it's Kevin.
I feel better. Thank you, Kevin.
Obviously, you just paid him $20 to say that. It's not really happening.
I know, Kevin. I'll send it to you after this call.
Hey, everybody,
you can come to the party Wednesday night.
Everybody, please go check with your teams to see if your commitments are printing out erroneously, or if they're adding conditions. Because, like I said, Amy just might be ahead of this. That would not be unusual. Okay, there you go, Amy. That's all I got. Katie.
All right, thanks.
You got it. Anybody else have any questions that we can't solve? It's always fun to get together and talk about stuff that that's not happening to anybody else, but we would like to know about it at least. But that is an interesting problem. I'm not quite sure what to do with that, Amy. I will find out from the projects I'm working on to see if anybody has a problem. Have not gotten a report of it yet. You got it, of course. So disclosure tracking. Oh, by the way, it's been 9 minutes. So I'm probably going to get yelled at. But yeah, if you're listening to this on wherever we post these things, check out the whole video on mortgage.community. My marketing team yells at me if I don't do that. So, so there you go. And on back to disclosure tracking. So.